So I just popped down to Woolco, picked myself up a new Game Boy. Kind of wore the other one out. So I was lucky that they still had a couple left on the shelf. This is the original launch edition Game Boy, like 89 is when it was released. So I'm thinking this is the early version, I believe, with the phone inserts. Tetris Game Pack, headphones, Game Link, and 4 AA batteries. So that's not true. I got this on eBay from a nice man named George. He's got a account where he sells quite a few unopened, sealed items that are kind of unique and collectible. So I'll post a link to his account in the description of his video. This one is obviously damaged. The box has been chewed by a rodent or something, and some of the cellophane has been peeled back in areas. This flap, I think, was damaged in shipping because that wasn't tagged in the photos. But for the most part, it's perfectly sealed. And, it's kind of like a Schrodinger's Game Boy at this point where I don't know if it's just a brick inside. I'm quite certain it's not, but the other alternative is that the batteries, they've been in there for, 30 years or more. And, I don't know, 30 years. But who knows what state they're in. And the electronics and, age can do funny things to electronics. So, although it's sealed and it doesn't appear to have any like water damage or anything that's crept into the box, that could be, for all I know, broken or non-working, but we'll find out. So without further ado, I'm going to tear into it. I'm going to do a little ASMR sound recording close up so we can hear the cellophane tearing. So here we go. There's no factory seal, so just as easy as that. Appears to be maybe some mold. That's not a good sign. Some general crud that's found its way into the box. On tray. So I'm going to get pamphlets that came with it. I don't think that's valid anymore, but we'll see. So first off, there's the batteries. So that's something I was worried about. These batteries are in bad shape. I didn't know if that's safe to touch, but they're rusty and exploded and just all kinds of awful. So I think that's what this residue is that's kind of falling around inside of the package. I'm hoping that hasn't affected the Game Boy yet. I can kind of see it there, but I haven't really got to it yet. And this is our Tetris cartridge, brand new. Seems like everything's fine there. No corrosion on the pins or anything like that. It's got funny because I wanted another game other than Tetris to play for this video. And so yesterday, which was my birthday, I kind of bought this for myself for my birthday, but yesterday I took a motorcycle ride about a half hour each way to pick up a Nemesis cartridge from the seller from Facebook Marketplace. And on the way back, it had fallen out of my pocket, and I knew exactly where it probably fell out. So I got home, realized it wasn't in my pocket, went back to retrieve it, and it had been run over a few times by a couple of cars. So later on in the day, I went and picked up took Mario Land from the game store, so I'm going to try that out. So there's Tetris. Now, headphones in their original sealed package. I remember these headphones being pretty darn good for back in the day. I used to play it at night with the sound through the headphones to hide it from my mom. Mom's supposed to be sleeping. So we'll try those out. Here's some business for Plymale. I don't know if that's the warranty registration yet. Something that probably is not valid anymore. And another pamphlet. Another link cable. Game Link. Something I never used even when I had the original Game Boy. Not anything that really interested me, or I don't even know how many games they actually made that you could do that with. And right here we go, the pièce de résistance, the Game Boy. And right off the bat, it seems like it's pretty clean. There's some rubbing on the plastic packaging. It looks like it's just from shifting around inside, but I believe that's just on the outside. Everything looks clean and perfect on the inside so far. Actually, we'll get to this stuff. These are the that's how to use it. That's something I need anymore. The game instruction booklets and the Game Boy owner's manual. They're all in perfect condition, except for, it looks like some rust on the staple for whatever reason, probably a result of this battery leakage. And Game Boy itself. All buttons feel crisp, new. I don't want to wipe this battery stuff off my hands, so one sec. So let's check it out. And just to reiterate, this thing, 1989, don't do math on camera, but how many years is that? 25 years old, and it's never been opened. So this is, I don't know, it's pretty cool to me. Let's drop that over there. Now, just a little fuzz on the screen, but literally in perfect condition. Seems to be like a bit of a schmutz on the button. To plug and clean that off with rubbing alcohol, but otherwise, absolutely pristine. And I know, let me get rid of this tray. I know the value is significantly reduced by opening that package, but like I said, because the package was damaged, it kind of seemed reasonable to open at the price I paid. Was, rather expensive, but not nearly as much as it would be if it had been like a high-graded sealed package. So, although it's kind of silly to spend that much money to open something, at the same time, it's something I wanted to enjoy, and wanted to get a Game Boy for a long time. Most of the ones I've seen, stop this. Most of the ones I've seen were pretty worn, and they were still kind of expensive, so it's kind of cool to have a brand new one to play with. Not that I expect to play it very often, but... So, the next step is get some batteries in it, and at the premium Dollarama batteries. So here we go. I don't think I need to read the owner's manual to figure out how to put batteries in. But, like most of us have experienced this. Open the battery hatch. Absolutely perfect contacts inside. Okay, now, I guess we'll try with Tetris first, since that's what it came with, and it's been a pair for 25 years. Insert that Tetris cartridge. And now, a little anxious to see what happens when I turn this switch. Okay, so it looks like we have a lot of bad lines in that screen. Something I was really hoping wouldn't be the case. I'm gonna turn it down. The round was so bad it'd be unplayable. It's a bit of a disappointment, but there is kind of a way you can... Apparently you can kind of fix those. Anyways, let's try... See what happens to play it. Here is back. Nah, it doesn't help. That seems to have cut out the sound. Well, the button C torqued fine. It's just that screen with the vertical lines. And the vertical lines, from what I've read, means the screen is kind of dead. I think you can fix some of the horizontal lines if you see those, but I had to try to not focus on that right now, because I was somewhat expecting that to be a problem. Anyways, there's that classic Tetris music and pause sound. So let's try throwing in Mario Land. Let's see how well that works. Again with the screen. Some really rough shape on this. This game media has a problem with. Yeah, it's not starting up. So, unlike you still think we're on with this game. I should clean this properly before trying to play it. Well, that's better. And it just wasn't inserted deeply enough. That's what she said. All right. So, I mean, that's it. That's the video. I guess I can try out the headphones, but I don't know if anybody really cares to see that. Yeah, it's a little disappointing with the screen being in the condition that it is. I'm going to have to look into whether or not that can be repaired or replaced. If anything, I might be able to buy another Game Boy and swap the guts. But it's not clearing up on its own, so I mean, I thought maybe if I gave it a gentle tap, it might help, but that just seems to not go so well. Well, for all intents and purposes, that's kind of the best I could have hoped for, so... Anyways, if you watched this video, thanks a lot for watching. Kind of enjoyed that. Hope you did too.